The series begins with the Pirate King Gold D. Roger executed as pirates take to the sea to find his treasure, the One Piece. 22 years later, in present day, we're introduced to Luffy, who takes to the seas to become the king of the pirates to find the One Piece. Now, Luffy put all his faith in getting in the barrel to be put inside a random ship, but Luffy can't swim, and if you look closely, the barrel has holes, so if the barrel just flips once, Luffy drowns, and if a ship doesn't find the barrel, Luffy dies from starvation. And just like that, that's the end of the series instead of an anime with 1,078 current episodes and still running. But the barrel lands on a pirate ship that belongs to Captain Alvida, as the cabin boy named Kobe beats Luffy and decides to help and escape with him, as Kobe is mistreated by Alvida. We then get a flashback of young Luffy that was influenced to become a pirate because of Shanks. Luffy then finds a devil fruit which gives unique powers and abilities and decides to eat it because he was hungry. Then some bandits arrive and stir trouble because there isn't enough alcohol, as Shanks gets disrespected but doesn't do anything. Luffy gets mad saying Shanks is weak for not fighting back, as we discover his devil fruit ability is a rubber man. As Luffy and Kobe tries to find a boat, Alvida finds out, so Luffy dishes out the Chris Brown special. And just like that, they find a boat and leave as we get introduced to pirate hunter Zoro, just being a daddy and a G. Luffy, the rubber man, and Kobe arrive at Shellstown. And while they eat, we're introduced to cat burglar Nami and pirate hunter Zoro in the same room. Female Steph Curry then offers rice balls to Zoro, but then bumps into a twat that treats her like trash, so Zoro beats him up, and the Marines, as the fight scenes are pretty good. Nami then takes a Marine as the twat tells Zoro his father will give him anything he wants. So Zoro meets his father, who is a Marine captain that asks him to join the Marines, but since Zoro declines, the captain punishes him for assaulting a Marine officer and sentences him to 7 days in the yard. But Luffy comes along and frees Zoro as he is in search of the map to the Grand Line to find the One Piece. Nami puts on a Marine outfit, meets Luffy, and works together as they both want the map. Meanwhile, the twat plays with Zoro's swords and Zoro teaches him a lesson. Luffy and Nami then steals the safe that has the map and beats some Marines with Zoro joining them. Luffy asks him to join his crew, but they reject it, yet they work really well together to defeat the Marine captain. I did realize many scenes from the live action are very different from the anime, but it still complements the larger story well. The twat tries to stop Luffy and the others from leaving, but gets knocked out by Kobe, who tells Luffy his dreams to become a Marine. Luffy tells Kobe to follow his dreams and sails off as the Vice Admiral Marine Garp and Buggy the Clown targets Luffy. Nami then opens the safe, finds the map, and suddenly with a gas explosion, they all pass out as Luffy eats the map before getting unconscious. When waking up, they find themselves at a circus with people chained up forced to be spectators. We then meet Buggy the Clown that wants the map, and because they aren't going to give it up, Nami and Zoro is in prison, and Luffy is planned to drown in seawater, while Kobe and Twat joins the Marines. We then get a flashback of Luffy telling the bandits to piss off, which makes Luffy a target, so Shanks and his crew goes off. And despite beating nearly all the bandits, one of them gets away and takes Luffy. But then a sea creature comes and capsizes the boat, killing the bandit. Luffy is then saved by Shanks as he fends off the sea creature and uses an ability called Haki to control the creature to leave. Shanks, however, loses an arm as a result, but glad Luffy is safe, and bids him farewell, giving him his straw hat. As Luffy drowns, Nami and Zoro set themselves free from imprisonment and saves Luffy. Bro then pukes out the map as Buggy's devil fruit allows himself to split himself apart, but then gets his body parts locked in boxes. Luffy then delivers the finishing blow and sets the people free. Hey yo, that's a big glizzy, chill out Luffy. They then set sail to get a bigger proper ship as we find Nami is working for somebody else. And in Syrup Village 7 years ago, we see a kid named Usopp that has a daily habit of lying to the entire village that the pirates arrived till present day. And as a result, nobody believes him as he is seen as the town liar. Meanwhile, the Vice Admiral of the Marines named Garp sees Kobe's talent and takes a liking to it. Buggy gets knocked out and kidnapped by a fisherman pirate as Luffy and his friends arrive in Syrup Village. Luffy then finds the perfect ship to sail to the Grand Line with and meets Usopp, who works at the ship. Usopp then says he knows the owner and can make a deal and brings them to the owner's house. And despite the hostility from those who work for the owner, Kaya the owner welcomes them and invites them to dinner. Kaya is wealthy but also very sick, as Zoro says he's seen the butler with glasses from somewhere. And during dinner, Zoro asks, to which the butler denies. And strangely, Kaya is forced to eat some strange soup while everyone else can eat whatever they want. Luffy then says he's a pirate in need of Kaya's help for a ship. Then Glasses gets mad, escorts Kaya to her room and tells the guests to leave by morning. When Glasses gets confronted by Sheepman, he asks how is it that all of Kaya's inheritance will go under the butler's name. The butler then reveals he's a pirate and kills Sheepman. Buggy is then brought to Fishman leader Arlong and makes a deal with him to find Luffy and get the map. Later, Nami gets caught stealing but still bonds with Kaya while Zoro and Usopp discover the Sheepman's dead body. Glasses then shows up and as Zoro gets ready to fight, he gets knocked out by an NPC. Nah bro, you can't do my man Zoro like that. He's striving to be the world's strongest swordsman and he gets knocked out by a chick with blue hair. Bro, she is literally an NPC. Nobody knows her name, and just like that she defeats the future greatest swordsman with a beer bottle? Nah, I need an apology for this. Justice for Zoro. Usopp then runs away, and for some reason they decide not to kill Zoro and just dump his body into a well, which makes me question if these pirates are evil as they say they are or just plain stupid. Like, I know we just knocked him out, but let's put him in a well, and although it's very possible he can get out, I hope he doesn't come back to get us. Usopp then cries to the village, the pirates arrive, but nobody believes him and is seen as a nuisance. I don't think the live action is trying to be racist, but how are you gonna make Usopp black that has a dad that left him? And have him use hot sauce for a weapon? Come on, y'all. As a child, Usopp's mother dies waiting for the dad to come back, and as he loses all hope, the Marines come and Kobe believes him. So Usopp leads the way and Zoro regains consciousness. Nami then discovers Luffy passed out with all the soup empty and then decides to hide as she starts to hear noises coming closer. Turns out the soup is poison and made for Kaya to die so that they can receive all of Kaya's inheritance legally. The Marines arrive, but Glasses convinces them Usopp is a liar, and because the Marines were initially after Luffy, once Luffy is given, the Marines then leaves. Nami then knocks out the NPC and Zoro tries to get out of the well. We then get a flashback of Zoro's past, who gets beaten every day by a girl named Kuina. So I guess past and present, Zoro just gets beaten up by girls with blue hair. And no matter how hard he tried, he could never beat her, and yet because she says she's a woman, she will never surpass an adult the man. But Zoro makes a promise saying they should both train until one of them becomes the greatest swordsman, to which she agrees. But one day Zoro finds out she passed away, then asks to use her sword in honor to keep the promise as the flashback ends. Usopp then warns Kaya about glasses, but she also sees him as a liar and refuses to believe him, but regardless, Usopp doesn't leave her side. The glasses pirates get ready to kill Kaya as it takes Nami for Kaya to realize she's in danger as they then try to leave the house. And as the murder hunt begins, Zoro struggles to get out of the well and falls down. Nah, you can't keep disrespecting my majestic Zoro like this, cause in the anime bro can do one jump and he's out of the well, and he's out here struggling to get out of the well and getting knocked out by a beer bottle. And by the time he gets out, Luffy wakes up and pukes. Twat tries to kill Luffy, but then Zoro takes him out. So Zoro and Luffy head back, decides to split up in the house. Nami and Kaya are helpless as Usopp's slingshot attack is not effective. Zoro then finds the NPCs and beats them out of their relevancy as Luffy finds glasses and ultimately defeats them. The glasses crew is captured, this is cringe, and Kaya thanks them and gives them one of her many ships. Luffy celebrates and asks Usopp to join the crew, to which Kaya gives him a kiss showing her feelings. But Broy and Sim leaves like his father. As they continue their journey, the Marines find Luffy as it's revealed Luffy's granddad is the Vice Admiral Garp. That since Luffy was a kid, Garp always pushed him to be a Marine, but Luffy always wanted to be a pirate. Known for his strength, Garp just chucks a cannonball, to which Luffy uses his Devil Fruit to bounce it back and damage a Marine ship. Garp laughs as Luffy escapes as they find a floating restaurant, and as they book a table, we're introduced to a cook named Sanji, who has a love-hate relationship with his boss Zeph, who does not like Sanji's fancy cooking and tells him to wait tables instead. And as a waiter, because this restaurant serves many pirates, Sanji's more than capable of taking out pirates who doesn't follow the rules. Sanji then meets the Straw Hats while Garp hires the warlord Mihawk to bring Luffy to him alive. As in the anime, this guy was beaten by Luffy, but here in the live action is beaten by Mihawk. Sanji and Luffy starts bonding while Mihawk arrives, to which Zoro challenges him to a duel because Mihawk is the greatest swordsman. Nami objects to it, but Zoro says it's his dream, so Luffy doesn't stop. Mihawk uses the tiniest knife and still manages to stab Zoro, and by the end of the fight, 2 of Zoro's swords are broken. And despite getting a severe cut, Mihawk spares his life as he looks forward to fighting Zoro again when he's stronger. Zoro then swears he'll never lose again before passing out as Luffy asks Zeph for help, so Zeph stitches him up. While Zoro recovers, Garp asks Mihawk why he didn't bring Luffy, to which he says it's because he found him interesting. We then get a flashback of Sanji 9 years ago. Sanji had been cooking at a young age and approached by Zeph, who was a pirate captain. Zeph then learns Sanji's dream of finding the All Blue before the ship capsizes. They then wake up in the middle of nowhere as Zeph gives them food and keeps a lookout for ships. But as more and more days go by, Sanji's so hungry he grabs a knife and tries to take Zeph's food, only to find treasure in his bag and no food. Only to find out Zeph chopped and ate his own leg to survive, and gave all the food to Sanji because Zeph's dream is to also find the All Blue, claiming it as real. Sanji then says it's still his dream to find it and that the All Blue is an area of the ocean where all fish exist. As Nami takes care of Zoro, the fishermen pirates arrive and try to stir chaos trying to find Luffy. Luffy pulls up and turns out Buggy's ear was in Luffy's hat, which is how they were able to find his location. Sanji tries to fight but gets beat as Luffy and Arlong square up outside. And although Luffy could have won, Arlong uses seawater, which is every devil fruit uses weakness, and beats Luffy. Nami then says she has the map and that she's been working for Arlong all along. And Arlong drops Luffy to drown but is then saved by Sanji. Zoro wakes up and Zeph tells Sanji to quit the restaurant so he can find the All Blue, so Sanji does just that. Zoro then agrees to join Luffy's crew and be his right-hand man. As they get ready to set sail, Sanji also joins the crew. The ship departs, Zeph says farewell, and Sanji gives them proper thanks and gratitude for saving his life. They then try to find Nami along with a map by using Buggy. We then get Nami's backstory that she has an adopted sister and mother, as the mother found them when she was a Marine. Nami is then ordered by Arlong to go to her hometown to receive the monthly payment from the villagers. And as the Straw Hats find Nami's hometown, they see Nami arrive to get the money and seen as a traitor and an outsider by working with Arlong. This is because her home village was destroyed by Arlong and his men. Nami is then given the money and tells Luffy to piss off, but Luffy is still skeptical, so he meets her adoptive sister. She then tells them Nami's mother was killed by Arlong, and thus the Straw Hats decide to help her. Arlong then gives the monthly bribes to the Marines so that him and his crew don't get arrested. It's then revealed Nami and Arlong made a promise if she can give him 100 million berry, Arlong will leave the village alone, and Nami says she will give him the money by tonight. So Nami digs out the money, and when her sister catches her, she explains this for the village and talks it out with her sister. But Marines sent by Arlong came to confiscate the money, meaning Nami has to raise 100 million all over again. She then stabs the tattoo forced on her by Arlong and curses him repeatedly, but is then stopped by Luffy, and as she cries for help, Luffy comforts her, gets his crew, and heads towards Arlong. We see Nami made this deal with Arlong a long time ago, and because of her talent in creating maps, Arlong forced her to make many. The village gathers and declares the fight as well as the Straw Hats attack and dominate Arlong's crew, except Usopp, who runs away. Nami then gets the Grand Line map while Luffy faces Arlong, and Sanji is told by Buggy he can help, so he frees him, only for the clown to run away. Usopp then flexes a new attack that blows the fishman away while Luffy aims at destroying the building itself. And as Sanji defeats the remaining crew member of the fishman pirates, Luffy uses Gatling gun and uses the Devil Fruit to stretch his leg for a final attack to take Arlong down and destroy the entire building in the process. But yeah, Luffy beat his ass, Nami is happy, and the village celebrates. The Marines then show up as Garp basically came to beat up Luffy to test his determination of being a pirate. Luffy refuses to quit as his laugh reminds Garp of the former Pirate King, so he lets him go, says he passed the test, and leaves. Nami then changes her tattoo and reconciles with her sister as Kobe gives Luffy a wanted poster he's always wanted. Luffy bids Kobe farewell as his poster reaches all across the seas from his hometown to Kaya to even Shanks. Alvida then joins hands with Buggy, and Garp tells Kobe and Twite he will train them personally. Luffy's crew is finally formed as the Straw Hat Pirates, with Sanji's dream of finding the All Blue, Nami's dream of building the world map, Usopp to be a brave warrior of the seas, Zoro as the world's greatest swordsman, and Luffy to be king of the pirates. As this is the start of their great journey, the series ends with a Marine Vice Admiral holding a cigar looking at Luffy's wanted poster. I am curious if Nico Robin in season 2 will be cast as black or white as she became more white as the anime went on, or if Chopper will be completely completely CGI or part human. But yeah, overall, this is the best live action I've seen and looking forward to season 2. Do comment your thoughts and if you prefer a series commentary or just stick to film commentary. Thanks a lot for watching. I promise the next video will be a lot funnier. It's been your boy KC, and yeah, till next time.